Hey guys, welcome to the Rusty Beauty's Garage and to episode 12, I believe, of the 1958 Triumph TR3 restoration. We're pretty close to finishing it soon, I hope. I'm gonna give it a push and give it back to the owner so I can have this spot for the upcoming projects that are coming now, since it is spring already. In the meantime, I still have this project here, the 1970 TR6, that I need to desperately continue working on because I neglected it. So anyways, what's left on the TR3 is the front valance. In the last episode we made this part for the bottom and we still need to make another one for the other side, and we need to weld it to the valance, of course, and a few little more dents that we need to put on the front valance, and that's going to be it for the front end. For the rear end, the owner brought a new floor for the trunk, so we need to install that. And we have a battery box that we need to install. And again, we need to go around the car and deal with multiple dents. So it's not much, but it's not a little too. So we have to push and get crack-a-lacking on that. So first, let's make the other half of this, and for this I have a really easy method that I used for the repair of the bottom of the B-post. Once I made one, it was easy to make the other one. Let me show you what I mean. So we can put it here on our magic bonnet, select the object, duplicate it, flip it horizontally, and ta-da, we have two now. I really don't understand how this didn't occur to me before. It makes my life so much easier. So anyways, we have both parts now. What's left is let's Photoshop them on the front valance. So we've seen how this one fits, and this one is pretty much the same. I made them a little bit longer so they overlap in the middle. We're gonna have to cut them, but yeah, this is what they look like. Something like that. So anyways, they fit well here. I mean, they don't fit on top of this, and that's normal because if they did, this would mean that they're bigger. However, this is my valance, the one from my car, because that one was too far gone to use as a template. So let's get rid of my valance now and see how it fits on that one, because that's the one that we need to use. So this valance, unfortunately, is pretty badly distorted, like right here and everywhere. So turns out that these don't fit very well because of all that distortion. But when you force them down, they fit. So what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna join them here to turn them into one part and then grind it in and out. And then if we have to, we're gonna English wheel them again a little bit, because I'm assuming we're gonna distort a little bit this seam here. So we're gonna planish it, we're gonna do whatever we need to do so it looks like one part. And then we're gonna cut this part off. We might need to make some repairs here. Not might to, I know that we're gonna have to make some repairs here on this part, because you see here it's pitted, and I'm sure the edge here is pitted too. So we're gonna repair this. I don't think I'm gonna keep you for all that here. Maybe I should give you time lapse. Okay, so that's how it fits. For now, we still need to adjust these lines here, you know, to make it match perfectly. But I am more than happy how it matches so far. I'm like actually surprised that we were able to do that. It looks like it's twisted a little bit. We still have to weld it. Like here, I just tucked it in 3 places, but I want to make sure that it fits well before we weld everything. So it still needs a little bit more adjustment, but what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna repair this area here where it's pitted. The rest is not that pitted. I was expecting that this entire lip was all rusted, but it's actually not. So we're just gonna clean it and paint it, and we're gonna weld this area here. Let me see what it looks like underneath. So yeah, I'm gonna make these repairs first, and then we're gonna continue with pre-fitting these and welding it and grinding it, etc, etc. But like I said, so far so good. I'm like pretty happy with the whole thing here. All right, so there's more pitting here in this area. Like there are 2 holes like this. There's one here and one here. So right between the holes, there's a lot of pitting as well as just like in this corner. So I'm just gonna replace this whole entire piece. I bent the piece and I marked the 2 holes. I'm gonna pre-drill them now. It's pretty simple piece. It's just a flat piece bent a little bit at the end. I just marked it here where to cut it. I'm gonna go pre-drill these holes on the drill press, and then I'm gonna cut this out and replace it. You see there's this pitting here a lot, but from here in this direction it's pretty good, so I don't think we need to touch it there. All right, this patch has been done, and I'm surprised actually how well it worked. So sometimes I can do invisible welds too, but most of the time they're pretty visible. And probably after I paint it, it's gonna show up. But anyway, I'm hoping these welds here are gonna turn this good. Anyways, this side here is pretty good. No holes, no pitting. So I'm gonna leave it as it is. And this part here was bad. I don't know where the cut-off piece was. Here, this is the cut-off piece, and you see holes here and some pitting here on the lip. But anyway, I'm gonna paint this now, and I'm gonna prep here for welding. All right, that's the trickiest part now, right? To align everything and to trim it to the proper shape. Now here, I know somehow I forgot that when I cut this piece, I was missing this corner, and I don't know why I cut it like this. Anyway, we're gonna have to fill this little hole here after. That's not a big deal. The thing is here now, it matches pretty well, and here, because that was my main concern, whether it was gonna match here, this whole entire shape, and it matches pretty well. So what I do here now, I'm gonna undo it now, and try to show you. You see here, I cut the flange to length, but I still left this part here. I left it longer so it can overlap, and the top is still longer, so we're gonna have to trim either this or this. And the same here, this part here is longer, but I cut the flange to length already. And I have this pair of pliers there that is aligning my flange, and once it's aligned, I can clamp it with this one like that. So now I know that this line is exactly where it's gonna be. So now we can trim either this piece or this piece. Looks like we're gonna have to trim this, because otherwise we're gonna go into this pressing here. And on the other side is the same. Now this lines up with this, so I can clamp it. I need 2 hands for that. There you go, it's clamped. But again, this line is exactly where it's gonna be. So now I can start lining up. Okay, so now I can start lining up everything here and trimming one part or the other until I have a perfect line here to weld them. So anyway, I welded this in the middle, It's not invisible like here, of course. Look at this weld, you can't even see it now. It is right here somewhere. But it's behind the grill and nobody's gonna see it, so that's why it's perfect. Here, I can feel the difference, but it is what it is. Anyway, so I'm gonna take it out again and I'm gonna make sure before we weld it that all the dents are gone and everything, that not that we can't deal with them later, but it's easier now to run it on the English wheel. Make sure that we have a nice and straight line here, and as little bond as possible is gonna have to be used. And once it's ready, I'm gonna start tacking it in place and welding it. But yeah, has a brand new chin. And the other day we were working on the mustache, now we're working here on the chin. Okay, wow, that took a while. It was like pretty hard, but it is done. Here, of course, the metal is super thin where we stretched it, so now I have to be really careful not to burn through like I did here. We can fill up all this hole we can even fill up. I thought that we were gonna need a piece of metal, but with a little bit of a backing here, we're gonna be able to fill this hole up. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm actually really happy. So now that it is tucked in, here this moved down, so I'm gonna try to raise it. And you see how it was welded here in the corners? I think that's how I'm gonna try to do it with the spot welder. We'll see if it is gonna fit there. We have to make it really nice. Oh, I have to tuck here too because I don't want this. You see that opens and closes as I'm bending it. So I'm gonna adjust this wherever we need it to be. And we're gonna tuck it there too. But yeah, wow. That's the most complicated repair that I've ever done, I think. So wish me luck with welding it. I'm gonna be so slow, and I'm gonna be cooling it down with air, and I'm gonna be skipping from here, there, and from there, here. I'm gonna try to not screw up this entire piece by doing a really bad welding on it. So hoping to be able to do it properly. Okay, I think it worked pretty well. I don't see any major warping, which is great. I was really slow, so I think it didn't warp at all. If there's some, like maybe a little bit here is a little bit low, but here we have access to the back, which is great because we can planish it with the dolly and the slapper. Here we have a dent that I should have fixed before, but anyway, we're gonna fix that too. I welded, there was a crack here as well. Now it's up to grinding. Actually, before I grind it, I'm gonna see if I can do the spot welds here. I'll see if I can reach from that side and do a few spot welds here. Well, oh my god, it's a mess here on my table. Turns out the spot welder is pretty shallow. So I need longer arms, but I don't have any. I know David has some, but you know what? I can also loosen it from here and extend it a little bit because the arms go all the way to the back here. I don't know. It's not worth. I can extend it by, say, 1.5 inches too. That's not gonna help me a lot because probably I'm gonna be able to do it in the center here, right here. But in that corner, it's not gonna be possible. Unless I can reach from outside. No. Well, then we're just gonna do welds here in the corner and we're gonna grind them nicely, and that's how it is here, right? And we shouldn't forget to drill the holes. There's holes here like this for the grill. Okay, I tried here drilling holes for the plug welds, and it turned out it's not a great idea because I have a hollow space here underneath. This doesn't necessarily match the same curve as here. So the rest of them I made at the edge where it's touching, and they worked better. Now, of course, I'm gonna have to spend a little bit more time grinding, but here too, look, it wasn't a good idea. Anyways, they're all tucked. Now I'm gonna go to town with the grinder. Let's see what it's gonna look like after it's ground down. So that's the before. And this is after. Well, it's not ready yet. I mean, we still have to grind inside here, but I'm pretty happy here. Also here, I need to planish a little bit because it is not perfect. Here I planished it. This has been planished, that it was a little bit wavy, but after I planished it and got rid of this dent and all that, it is almost perfect. I can feel where the seam is. When we paint it, you're gonna see it too, but again, a little bit of body filler is gonna solve that. Here we need to planish more. I mean, I need to grind underneath. You see, I have the weld steel here, so I'm gonna have to flip it around and grind that weld, and after that, with the dolly underneath and the slapper, we're gonna planish this. But it is coming so good. I'm so surprised that this actually worked. We made such a complicated part. I am actually impressed by myself. Anyway, and by the way, you see, it is a beautiful day outside. Actually, oh my god, my poor Spitfire. Actually, it's not that warm. It is I think 9 degrees or something like that, but the sun is shining, so I opened the garage door and I came to work outside. It's the next day, if you haven't noticed. Anyway, I'm gonna finish that, and I believe that's gonna be everything for the front valance. We're gonna look around for some more dents. I welded this crack here too, but I think now, yeah, we don't have any more dents. So once we finish here, we're gonna be ready. Oh, there's one more thing. There's a little bracket that I don't know what it is for, but it's on the old piece. This is the piece that we cut off. You see, these are the reasons why it's been cut off. I'm glad we did that. And here, all that was gonna go through at some point. So anyways, we're gonna have to either, yeah, this actually doesn't look too bad. This little bracket here, we're gonna cut it off, clean it up. I have no idea what it is for. And we need to drill the holes. We shouldn't forget that. We need to drill these holes here. This one, and 1, 2, 3. Wow, I don't even know how I'm gonna do that now. Okay, so I ground, I don't know which side it was, this one on this one. I think it was this one. Ground it and planished it. I'm gonna flip it to show you, but I just painted the bottom, and I actually made this bracket as well. I made a new one. The other one was too rusted to use. So I painted it here, and I'm gonna flip it around soon, and I'm gonna show you the outside. I'm gonna paint that as well, and we're gonna be done, I think. All right, here it is. We're still gonna paint it. I wanna see what it's gonna look like after I paint it. But yeah, straight. This is these are ground now. The holes are drilled, and yeah, let me paint it, and we're gonna move on to the next project. And the finished product. I don't know how well you see. I barely see anything because it's so bright, but wow, I'm really surprised how well it turned out here. You can barely see the stitches. Huh. Anyway, of course, like I said, body filler is my best friend when it comes to welding. Here, of course, it's gonna require some body filler here in the corners, you see, but it is 100, 200, 1000% better than what it was before, right? So in this case, that's gonna be everything for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I really did enjoy this project. It was new for me. I've never done such complicated shape, even though, oh my god, even though for Elin this is probably piece of cake. Well, for me it was a complicated shape, but we managed to make it and it fits, which is awkward, isn't it? Anyway, so that's gonna be everything for this episode. In the next one, I guess we're gonna start with the battery box, which I'm gonna start right away now, but you're gonna see it in the next episode. And the last thing that is gonna remain after that is gonna be the floor in the booth. We have that floor already, so we need to do that. And of course, there's a few little things around the car, dents here, dents there, there's a few little holes around and stuff like that that needs to be welded, but we're mostly done. So anyways, that's gonna be everything. Like I said, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for commenting, subscribing, sharing and supporting the channel. It helps the channel staying alive, so it is really highly appreciated, guys. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.